Wavelength 3.0 has been announced. The public beta comes out on October 16th. It's going to be free for everyone. You don't have to have an Elgato microphone or a Stream Deck Plus to use it. The main thing I'm interested in is the fact that you can create up to 5 independent output mixes instead of just the one stream mix that we have in the current wavelength. You can have 5. So it's like 5 stream mixes basically. So they're suggesting that you can have different audiences. You could have a mix for live stream and then a mix that is for what gets sent to VOD. So instead of having to add your channels directly into OBS and then you lose control of them from Wavelength, you can just do them all inside of Wavelength. And so that results in the need for a redesign, because imagine in the current Wavelength, you have 5 mixes instead of just the one stream mix here. You would have, each one of these channels would have 5 vertical volume bars instead of just the one for stream mix. And how long is that going to make this horizontal scrolling? Plus, you'd have to add those 5 mixes down here at the bottom. Instead of having channels be the main organization here with the apps inside and then the mixes inside of those, they put the channels on the left with your apps inside, and then your mixes are the columns. So it kind of makes a grid of matching channels to mixes. As you can see, there's blank spots here where that channel does not go through out to a mix. But there's going to be up to 5 output mixes and 8 channels. Normally, you have to add each channel separately into OBS when you want to separate audio. But now you could use those output mixes in Wavelength and maintain control of the audios in Wavelength. But if you're wanting to use all 8 channels and have 8 separate audio tracks in your OBS recording, you can't use these new output mixes because there's only 5. You wouldn't be able to put one channel per output mix because there's 5 and there's 8 channels. It just depends on your scenario and if you're going to max them out like that. So I'm going to show my current setup, and then when Wavelength 3.0 comes out, we'll see if I can redo my setup, make it more useful with the Wavelength 3.0 and its output mixes. We'll see. So currently I have my channels in Wavelength: browser, music, game, voice chat. And then I have a sound effects channel and a sound effects no VOD channel and an OBS monitoring channel. I'll explain those in a bit. So browser, music, game, and voice chat, those, typical channels, you route your stuff and then you add your Wavelength game and Wavelength music. You add those into OBS, okay? But then for alerts and redeems like Blurp and Twitch alerts, you add those as browser sources into OBS, and the audio gets captured first into OBS. So you have to turn on monitoring in OBS to hear those. So what I did was set my monitoring device in OBS to be this sound effects channel in Wavelength. All my redeems and alerts through Twitch, blurps, whatever, audio sources, videos inside of OBS, all that stuff, redeems, whatever, that's being sent to this sound effects channel in Wavelength so that I have myself one volume knob to turn all of that stuff up and down. And then since I've consolidated all that into one channel by monitoring it, in OBS, I have turned blurp and sound alerts and all my redeem files, all my redeem sources are monitor only, so that they aren't getting sent out to stream yet. They're only going out to this sound effects channel in Wavelength. Then I take that sound effects channel and I plug that into OBS. And that is what gets sent out to stream, is just this one single sound effects channel, so that I can also have one single volume knob to turn all my alerts and redeems down for the viewers. Then I went even further than that and I created another channel called Sound Effects Novad. So I already have my music channel for like YouTube music or MP3s or whatever playing off of VLC media player. That's already a channel that is added separately in OBS and excluded from the VOD by unchecking number 2 in my setup. So that's typical. Okay, you send your music to not be in the VOD. The fact that I have all my redeems are being controlled inside OBS, or all the stuff that I add that has like music in it, that's a redeem. Those are muted so they don't go out to the stream. And then the monitoring is off so they don't get sent through that sound effects channel that I just showed you earlier, where all the other alerts are going through. Instead, I've added this plugin called Audio Monitor plugin for OBS, which lets me put on a filter on this audio that has music in it. This audio monitor filter that captures the sound and sends it to a different monitoring device than what's configured in OBS. So I sending that to Sound Effects Novad channel. So all my redeems and alerts that I've put directly into OBS that might have a copyright detection, and sending it to a separate channel here called Sound Effects Novad. So those have their own personal volume for me. And then I add that channel back into OBS just like the other one. So I can turn redeems that have copyright or possibly copyright music in them up and down as their own volume, one spot here. And then that is what sends out to the stream. And then it's only one checkbox to not go into VOD. I don't have to go through every single redeem that I add, every single audio source that I add into OBS and configure them, because I'm sending them to this one single channel, and that's what goes out to the stream. But let's talk about monitoring OBS and what it sounds like, because normally you're going to do monitoring on or off. You're only doing that so that you can hear sound alerts from like Twitch and Blurp and stuff. But the way I just did it, I'm routing everything so everything gets heard by me in Wavelength first before it gets sent out to the stream. I have this OBS monitor channel. And so these are the music and game channel, the sound effects channels for the alerts. That's only 4 channels that I'm actually sending out to stream, because everything's been consolidated and rerouted. And then I take that audio monitor plugin and I add that to those 4 channels to capture the audio coming out of them and send them to my audio monitor channel in Wavelength. That is the only channel that is in my stream mix in Wavelength. So the sole purpose of using stream mix is not to send it to the OBS. It's just something that I can tap into with my headphones here by checking that box. And now I can hear exactly what is going out from OBS, not just my Twitch alerts, but all my audio. So with Wavelength adding 5 output mixes, there's potential that I could regain control in a different way. Because especially what that allows you to do is control the audio of 5 independent outputs instead of like normally the way it is now. You add those channels separately directly into OBS and you lose control in Wavelength. You have to control the audios in OBS. We'll see. I can't really wrap my head around it. I just have to dig in and start reconfiguring things and see how it works. But once Wavelength 3.0 comes out, we'll see how that makes my setup any different, more efficient, more control. Who knows? Because right now, what I have works out good. So we'll see.